My name is Vanessa.
Me llamo Vanessa Vivas, soy de Venezuela, tengo 19 años y hablo inglés, español y francés. I moved from Venezuela to Qatar when I was 8 years old because my parents work in the oil and gas industry, and at that moment in time, the political situation in Venezuela was starting to deteriorate, and my mom was the one who started researching and looking for jobs abroad. But she traveled and got the job and moved her whole family across the world.
I'm doing a poem page and also a gossiping corner, and we're interviewing people to know interesting things. Thank you, bye-bye.
When I was about 11 is when I realized that I wanted to pursue acting and I wanted to make people laugh. And theater brought out all the best parts of me in a way where I could become articulate and powerful and fearless and strong. So I've been through multiple schooling systems. I was set on going on the IB, like International Baccalaureate program, and then I just switched over to the American program because I knew I wanted to go to the US for college and to live, so I started taking APs, and I started to take the more American, less international, more American-centric education. Everything that I do in this country is essentially like related to the school. It has to be related in some way because it is a student visa, like it's in the name. And something I did have to do to get the visa was take an English fluency test, which was the funniest thing ever because I've been speaking English fluently for most of my life, or over half of my life. But I understand why they would ask me. But it's funny because the test was out of 120 and I got 114, which was higher than our high school valedictorian. So I was like, America, I'm coming for you. You know I'm coming for you. Coming from a Hispanic background has taught me that hard work is just ingrained in us. And I hate when people say we're lazy immigrants. Those words don't go together. By saying you're an immigrant, you're inherently the opposite of lazy. And I think moving here has kind of given me culture shock in so many different ways because I'm a speaker for multiple communities, and back home I was just kind of a person. Now when I moved here, I have a responsibility to represent multiple groups and to talk about the issues that people don't know about. So yeah, sometimes I miss my high school life and my friends because I don't really have to try with them. The international community just bonds without discrimination. I don't know. I'm lucky. I was very lucky. Something that has been hitting since I moved here is people are very, very quick here, very confident. And this country moves so fast because it's so big, it's vast, it's massive, and it moves at a pace that it took me a while to get used to. My mom is in town right now, and I've ordered every single time that we've gone out to dinner, and she works in English, she is fluent in English, but it's so quick. I'm having culture shock from Venezuelan culture to American culture. There's definitely a sense of responsibility and pressure. When I moved here, I do have to be an ambassador and an activist more than I did back home. But with my background in Venezuela, socialism was sold as something that would save the poor. And 19 years later, it's ruined my country. I haven't been back in 6 years. There's no toilet paper, there's no napkins, no medicine, there's no light. There was a blackout that lasted for a week. And it's really hard to see people blindly say these things about either communism and sometimes socialism. I see it and it hurts me, and I get very angry very quickly. It's really hard when you haven't lived in it. And I haven't even lived in it, but my family does. And sometimes worse. I wish I was with them. I wish I would fight with them. So pretty much everyone except my immediate family is still there. So the only ones that have really left Venezuela are my mom, my dad, my brother, and myself. My grandparents can't really pack up and leave because they have all their roots are there. And as of recently, the last American Airlines flight flew in and out of Venezuela, and now there are no more American flights that are in contact with Venezuelan borders. There's no working media that's not government owned. And pretty much everything is shut down now. Like all the media is shut down. The biggest thing, or biggest weapon is social media. It's Twitter and it's Instagram and it's Facebook. And that's why I barely ever post anything about my life. I always post about Venezuela. And sometimes I question it and I think about how much of my life should I live, how much of my family's life should I live. And I still struggle with it. I still don't know how much of my life I can fully enjoy knowing that my family's going hungry. It's a journey to try and find a balance, constantly. I know my grandparents would hate it if I lived my life for them. And the biggest thing I can do is be my very best self so that I can make them proud without distorting my reality. A big thing for me is putting it into my art. And I've written so many things about it. And I want to write plays, and I want to write poetry, and I want to write books about it, about what it's like to live a first world life and then have your family live a third world life. I think that's probably what's going to impact people. I'm going to try to use what I'm studying to change people's minds and educate people and let people know, just let them know. So I have to live the first world life of sharing about it and being the one person that doesn't shut up about it and won't stop posting about it, while still finding joy in the things I do. I have to find joy in these things, or else I'm not living my life. And right now in my world, my priorities are being a vessel for my family's legacy. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are the words.
Oh, okay, I'm about to check it out.